And we're live.
Yay! Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Oops. Wait, I need to
Kathleen
turn
has
off
her
my
sound on.
I'm sorry.
So we definitely have sound.
We do. Hey, at least we know that we have sound this time. Okay. Welcome to Labyrinths, 1, 2, 3s, and ABCs and 1, 2, 3s of Gameschooling. It's been a long day here, folks. Sorry about that. And we're going to do my favorite kind of games tonight, or games and puzzles. We're going to talk about spatial reasoning and kind of pattern recognition, all of the visual acuity type skills. And that's kind of my favorite thing. And I am here joined tonight, as always, with Melissa and Rich, and
Hello.
I'm Kathleen. We are from Labyrinth Games and Puzzles in Washington, D.C., and this is a series that we began doing a couple months ago, a month ago.
Like
so
September.
Yeah, sometime. In order to talk about learning through games. Melissa and I are both moms, and we have both worked with our kids a lot through games. I have owned Labyrinth for about 10 years and worked a lot with teachers, and so we're going to show you all some games today.
Yeah.
And these, as I said, spatial reasoning games, puzzle games are always my favorite, so I'm excited about today. I think that today I was telling people on Facebook this morning that it's a very special day to me because today is the anniversary of Martin Gardner's birthday. He would have been 106 years old today, and Martin Gardner is the person who got me interested in puzzles. When I was young, I used to read his column in Scientific American. He was a writer, a journalist, and a mathematician and a magician. He loved magic, but he wrote an article for Scientific American called Mathematical Games, and he is the person who brought to the forefront kind of recreational puzzles and math puzzles, and I got really into it when I was a kid, and we're going to show one of my favorite puzzles later on.
Cool.
But what are we going to do first? We're going to start, as usual, we're starting with the youngest first.
Youngest kiddos. So we are going to start with the Smart Max, My First Totem. And this is a great and very sturdy magnetic toy for our youngest kiddos. It is for ages 1.5 and up.
It might be hard to see on.
I'm going to tilt it in a second.
Yeah.
So these are all magnets, and you can see right now it just looks like a stick because it's boring. So we're going to lay it on its side, and it's going to fall apart. But you're going to have to work with me, and we're going to pretend that it is standing upright. So it comes with this solid base that the kiddos can spend some time at first just, kind of playing around with the magnets and sticking them together in various ways, and it's super fun. And there's curvy pieces, so you can, stick things on at angles if you want. So you can see that one's not quite straight. And they all stick together really well. And these guys are solid. This one has a little bit of a rattle in it, which is really fun. But the coolest bit is you get these big, nice, chunky cards that have pictures of structures for the kiddos to build. So you put this in front of them, and then they can have a grand old time stacking up the pieces so that it matches. And it's kind of self-correcting in the sense that they have this reference right in front of them, and it will either match or not. So it's good for both the physical aspect of putting everything together and figuring out what piece goes where, and also for kind of basically checking your work. You want to do the puzzle? Mm-hmm. Sure. Okay, Kathleen's going to do the puzzle for us.
Do the puzzle.
Hello, all these lovely people that are rating our channel.
Hi. How are you? Hello, everyone. We're doing spatial reasoning and pattern recognition puzzles today. Talking about spatial reasoning. Oops, that one is not in the puzzle. I'm doing the puzzle wrong already.
For 1.5-year-olds, Kathleen.
I know. I can do it. Ooh, look, it's hard to get that one to stack. And then I put the bunny ears on top. Look, I did it. Yay.
So thank you, Time Roller, Will Cook for Board Games, and Laura's Toll for following us. We appreciate it.
Hi, it's nice to talk to you. What we were saying is that spatial reasoning is incredibly important. It is a skill that studies have shown can be improved through practice and training. All of these games and puzzles that we're showing today work various different spatial reasoning and pattern recognition skills. The next one, and we usually start from youngest first, so we just did Smart Max is my first totem. And then this is another puzzle from Smart Games. Smart Games does a lot of really, really cool puzzles. Rich has spatial reasoning problem and can't remember which way the camera faces.
It's very true.
But they do a bunch of different things. This one is definitely three-dimensional structural. Again, like with the totem, it kind of comes with all these different pieces and this book.
Yeah, it's great because it's got these nice, chunky, sturdy wooden blocks, and it's a little car, and who doesn't love playing with little cars?
And the little car has a face, guys.
It's true. There it is, looking at you.
Woo! So cute.
But then, like the first totem, and like most of the games from Smart Games, it'll have a little puzzle book included that has challenges. So it'll show you a certain outcome that you want to get, and then you have to figure out how to stack things up to fit that outcome. And hopefully, I can do it. I've been having some troubles lately, but
no pressure.
If I put it like that, maybe, and then I need to get the green. Oh gosh.
I don't know what you're doing.
I don't either.
I don't think this is correct.
This might not be correct.
It's definitely not correct.
From the side, right? Want it to look like that?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
but it needs to be one in the back. From this side.
Uh-huh. You have fans, Rich. They said it's okay. It's unexpectedly hard.
Yeah. This is just for babies.
Lisa, it was really
So
funny because I told them that they should practice beforehand, and they're like, "Oh no, it's not going to be any problems." One of the great
I can
things
learn my mistake
is
set it up.
one of the great things that I really like about the Smart Games puzzles is if you haven't done them, if you haven't practiced, even adults sometimes have problems with these. I remember we used to always set these out when I would teach professional development for teachers in the before times. We would frequently, when the groups would come in after lunch or whatever, we would have all the Smart Games out on all the different tables. And some of the preschool teachers had a really hard time with this. But I think that it is what we're talking about. Like really practicing spatial reasoning makes you better at it. And if you don't practice it, it is not a skill that comes naturally to a lot of people. A lot of people definitely think that spatial reasoning is like a inherent or born skill, like that some people are good at it and some people aren't. But there have been many, many studies that show that you can get better at them. There's also a lot of studies that show improving spatial reasoning skills directly relates to improving mathematical skills. So I cannot really, at least with my son and his love of mathematics, I can't say how much importance spatial reasoning is, especially when kids are really young.
Yep.
Okay, what's next?
Next we have set.
Ooh, set. I love set. So set is not really spatial reasoning. If you have never played set, this can kind of break your brain. Set is a visual perception and pattern recognition game. Did you know that set was actually created by a scientist who was studying hereditary traits? Yeah, she was a scientist and she started codifying her hereditary traits with like diamonds and circles and different things. And so they would lay out hereditary traits and they started playing this game. And that's where set came from. It was really kind of cool.
That's very interesting.
I cannot shuffle set cards with my... I hurt my finger. But I'm all right.
Everyone should feel bad for Kathleen.
No, you don't need to. I'm fine.
Okay. I'll do a smushy shuffle. So set, we lay out a grid of cards.
Little shapes on them.
So in set, there are 4 attributes that you're looking at. You're looking at the color, the number, the shading, and the, what else? Color, number, shading, and shape.
Oh, shape.
Yes. You are trying to find 3 cards in which each of those criteria is either all the same or all different. So you're looking for things that are either all green or green, purple, and red. Or you're looking for things that are all ovals or things that are ovals, diamonds, and squigglies. I call them squigglies. I have no idea. Amoeba, I don't know. Or you're looking for things that are all filled in, or you're looking for things that are empty, partially filled in, and completely filled in. So has anybody found one yet?
Let's see.
I didn't find one.
It's pretty rare that there isn't one.
Yeah, no, it's very, very rare. I don't remember what the attributes are. Oh, I found
see
one. I found one. Go ahead.
Oh. It turns out the one I thought I saw was wrong. So
Oh, okay, I got one. This one, and this one.
Ooh.
So that is a set. So the way you play this game is basically you lay out the cards, everybody plays at the same time. You yell set if you see one. You have to prove to other people that it's a set. A lot of times with the kids, we'll either say, let's go through the 4 attributes, like, oh, they're all red, yes. They're all different shading, yes. They're all the same number, yes. They're all the same shape, yes. So we try and like prove what the set is. And then you fill in the holes.
All right. This could very quickly turn into us playing set for a while.
I love playing set. It's so good. I found another one. Set.
Okay.
This one is a set. So they're all solid. They're all different numbers. They're all different colors, and they're all different shapes.
Very good.
I find that the differences are the most difficult ones. I found another one. Set.
Oh my gosh.
I like set.
I've noticed.
Okay, so this one is all different. Different colors, different numbers, different shadings, and different shapes. So this is the hardest for me normally to find.
Wow.
They're all different.
I'm broken.
I feel like I have to get one.
Okay, you can get one. I'll stop.
Nope. 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 Nope.
I found one, but I'm going to stop.
Oh my gosh. That makes it worse.
That does make it worse.
This is riveting,
It
color.
is.
I know, we
It's-
should probably.
yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
put aside
Okay.
our
I
Mr.
have
Kathleen.
to throw
Uh-huh.
What's the one?
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, people don't
This
just
one,
want to
this
stare at
one, and
things.
this one.
Wait, why?
So this is all squiggles,
Oh, different shading.
different numbers, different shading, but all the same color.
Ah.
Louis Bob saw a set too.
Well, she's also good at this.
Oh
game.
yeah, Louis Bob's good at this too. But anyway,
We're
that
not
said, and you
playing.
keep playing, and then at the end of the game, you count all of your cards, and you see who won.
No, who lost the least badly?
There actually used to be a girl who worked here who was unbelievable at this game. Like, you couldn't even lay the cards out before she called us that. It was crazy. We made her stop playing. But that's actually one of the reasons I became good at it, because it used to frustrate me so bad. So this is proof that you can improve pattern recognition skills, because she used to beat me all the time, and I took set home. You can play set by yourself, which is a great thing. The other thing that's really neat, and this is something that I love to do with kids, is you can lay out any 2 cards and have the child tell you what the 3rd card would need to be. So in this, it's kind of criteria. I have 2 solids, different shapes, different colors. So my 3rd one would have to be a 3 green solid oval. And it's really neat if you do that. You can kind of come up with a lot of things. One other thing that's for game schooling that's really, really important with set is if you look up set in education, I believe, and look on their website, they have a PDF that the last time I looked for it was a little bit more difficult to find, but there's a PDF that's on set's corporate webpage that is like multiple pages of how to use set to teach mathematics all the way from the preschool level up through college level. And it talks all about the math behind set and things. It's really fascinating.
They have
But
a great
anyway.
tutorial on their website too.
Yeah.
It just teaches you.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic. And there's a bunch of other puzzles and stuff that you can do with set, which is really neat. Okay, what's next?
Neato. Fiverr Findin Findin.
Oh,
Oh.
Fiverr Findin.
Fiverr Findin.
Okay.
Fiverr Findin Findin.
This is the one Rich doesn't like.
It's timed puzzles, guys.
Yeah.
This game has everything.
Two
It has
of my favorite
whiteboards.
things.
It has dice. It has sand timers. What's not to like about this?
I love fiber finding.
I'm gonna get the right colors this time. Right colors.
Okay, yes. That's why I always say them beforehand. There are two different sides to these boards. There's a gray outside and there's a white outside, a white perimeter. I don't remember which is which, but one is different on every board and one is the same
Gray
on
is
every
the
board.
same.
Yeah, gray is the same. Okay. We usually like to play with white, and I didn't remember which one, but it just changes the dynamics of it a little bit. There is also a solitaire game that you can play. There's a bunch of different games, but we're going to show you one today.
Yep.
There are all these kind of Tetris-y
Polyominoes.
polyomino pieces, which is great, and certain ones count for more points than others do. And we're going to roll the dice, and you cannot have 3 of the same color in the dice roll. So if you get 3 of the same color, you have to re-roll, and he didn't.
I can't see. I can't see.
Okay.
I can't see.
So now we're going to go as fast as we can and take those colors, purple, orange, yellow, dark blue, and red, and try and circle them as fast as we possibly can. As soon as one of us feels like we have things, let's see. I need dark blue.
Make the shapes.
Hmm.
Like one of each.
I need
it looks
yellow.
like, except for light blue.
Yeah, orange, red, yeah, purple. Ooh, I forgot a big one.
Oh no.
I'm doing it kind of not where I was sitting.
It's good. I need that handicap.
Me too.
And then once somebody feels confident, they flip the sand timer, and the pressure is on to everybody else to find as many shapes as they can before the timer runs out.
Yeah, you cannot do the same shape ever, and your shapes cannot overlap.
But they can touch on the sides, right?
They can touch on the sides, but they can't overlap.
That's not a shape. Okay, so there's. Haha!
Why are you looking at my board?
I'm not. I'm looking at those pieces over there.
Melissa is copying me.
I am not. I can't copy you. Our boards are different.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm flipping the timer.
Oh.
And then once you flip the timer, you're not allowed to do any more. You can find up to 5 shapes. They all have to be different shapes on your board. And yeah, so.
Very tense right now.
And if you flip the timer, you have to pay attention to when it runs out. And it ran out. Stop.
Ah, okay.
Pins down. And then they recommend that you find the pieces and lay them on your board. Can anybody, I don't know if anybody can see mine.
You can see a
Oh,
little
okay.
bit.
Yeah, so you would lay the pieces on the board to make sure that you made them. We usually don't do it this way, but we can. And then you basically count up your scores. So I got 6, 7, 8 points for that round.
I got 11.
You got 11. Nice.
Oh my gosh.
Good
I
job.
redeemed myself.
Yay. How many did you get, Rich?
Well, I wasn't going to count, but
No, now you have to. It's a
now I
matter
have
of
to.
pride.
It's pride, yeah. So I got 3 plus 1 is
4.
4.
Whoever flips the timer gets an extra point, though, so I actually got 9.
Plus 3.
7.
And then 8. And this last one gives me 10.
Woo! Nicely done.
I have won this round,
Nice.
and I only have 4 pieces.
Good job.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's good.
But that is Fiber Findin'. Fiber Findin' is a new game from Haba, the German game company.
That we love.
I completely love this game. My son beats me all the time.
I do think it is important to say that I believe I read a variation in the rulebook where you do not have to use the timer, because I just know, like, certain kids that I've taught in my past like would have hated that so much.
Right.
So there is a sort of non-timed variant.
Well, and there's also one where you this side of the board you do something about everybody has to use the same pieces and find that thing.
Yep.
And there's another variation that is more not timed and a little bit more strategic.
And there's
I
a
think.
solo variant. I mean, it has a lot of different themes in this tiny
Yeah, it
little
does.
box.
It's really good. I love Fiverr Finding.
Oh, and this one, because we haven't been saying ages beyond that they're for littles.
Oh.
This one is 7+. So
Yeah, 7+. I think the other ones that we did were all younger than that.
set with 6+.
Set is 6+, although I have played it with younger kids. Another important thing to say about set is you can take out the shading and just use one shade and do it where you're just matching the 3 attributes. And I have definitely done that with kids as young as 3 and 4.
Yeah.
Kids are actually better at set than most adults.
And there is a junior version as well.
There is a
We
junior
don't have
version.
that demo up.
Yeah.
But we do have a junior version. All right, next up is, for anyone planning on going traveling this holidays, I can't imagine that would be lots of people, but if you're in the car or you just want to take a small game that'll fit in your kid's backpack, we have Canoodle.
I love Canoodle.
Which is going to be hard to see, but that's okay. So, this is the regular old version of Canoodle. There's a couple different ones. There's a junior version. I think there's an extreme version. But this one, I have set up the 3D side, which I think is really cool. Let's see if I can. It's a pyramid. I can't tilt it because it'll all fall down, and then I will be really sad. And this is one of their 3D puzzles, which is really cool. And I've set up a really easy one because I've not played Canoodle before, where you set it up the way it says, which was a task in and of itself, and then you are supposed to add the last piece to the pyramid, completing it. And again, it's kind of hard to see on camera, but that's sort of expert mode. You can actually take all of these off. And again, it's all self-contained in this little tiny box. And there is a different mode where you're laying out the pieces flat inside of the box itself to make different patterns so that they all fit in this box some way. And I'm screwing it up. But they all fit in here pretty nicely. I could see you playing this in the car, maybe not the 3D version, but these are like in here good enough that a kid, like, you just set it up, could hold on to it.
A couple years ago when they introduced the extreme version, I was at Toy Fair and I begged the person to give me a demo because I needed to do it right then and there.
Wow.
So they gave me a demo and I worked on it all the way back on the train from New York to DC. And when I got up to like pack my bag and everything, all the people on the train were like, "What were you doing?" And so I was like teaching everybody on the train about Canoodle. It was great.
I'm failing Canoodle right now.
You're doing great.
I'm doing okay. This piece is a problem.
Uh,
I didn't plan ahead. So anyway, this is fabulous because it does both the sort of like flat 2D puzzles and also that 3D puzzle, which I've got to tell you, it says 8+. It's a challenge if you're not used
Oh
to
no,
it.
even the normal one, the hard puzzles, I still enjoy doing. Like,
yeah, these are fun.
the extreme version was crazy hard. Like, even all the way back on the train, I got, maybe 3 or 4 puzzles. Like,
I've now gotten in this like puzzle solving. I can't.
I know.
Sorry.
That's not good.
Kathleen.
Anyway, I love this because it all snaps together and it closes.
And
it
the book
has a
fits
little
inside
book.
too. Here's the little book.
Yeah, it has a great thing that it goes from easier to harder. So the way the easier ones work is it's right there. The way the easier ones work are that you have more pieces on the board and then you add a fewer pieces to them.
Mm-hmm.
And then as the puzzles get harder, there's fewer and fewer pieces that they tell you where to put.
Yeah.
So it's kind of more open space.
And I love small box games. So
Yeah, they're great for travel.
Yeah.
This is really popular with the kids. They like it a lot. And as you can see, it was really funny. One time, and we're going to show some at Cube in a little while, but one time at a Capitol Hill Cluster School game night, I had taken a whole bunch of the old wooden puzzles and things like Canoodle and stuff, and there was a math teacher there, and we kind of put her at that table, and later on that night, she told me that at first she had thought none of the kids would come to her table because she thought it was all really boring and that like they would hate the old wooden puzzles and stuff. And her table was slammed all night long.
Good.
The kids love to play with this. It's very tactical and it really is a big hit with the kids.
Yeah.
Okay, which one are we doing next?
We are going to talk about Blockus. Blockus or Bloku next, depending on how you would like to pronounce it.
So Blockus is a phenomenal game. I love this game.
Yeah, so we've got
And green.
more polyominoes showing up.
More polyominoes.
And your job is to take as much space as you can on the board.
To block, you might say.
Right.
Or bloke. I'm going to bloke all their pieces.
Mm-hmm.
Melissa says blocus.
I say both because it irritates my coworkers.
Uh-huh.
The real truth comes out.
Uh-huh.
So
Okay.
everyone starts from one corner with their color and adds a piece in. And the 3-player
Your turn.
variant
I know.
is the most,
It's the most difficult, I think.
just to teach,
You
because
go first with red.
red is we're each gonna take turns playing as the red player.
Yes.
And they're sort of a dummy player that you can use to get in the way of your opponents. But the rules for laying pieces are tricky because it's not like Tetris where they go like on top of each other like that. They can't be adjacent on the sides. They can only touch on corners of your own color. You can touch the sides of other people's colors, just not your own. So it's now going to be
Oh, it's my turn
your
to
turn
red
to
one.
be
Your turn
red.
to be red.
And that's
So
why
in
3
the
players is
3-player, it's really confusing because you have to remember whose turn is what,
tricky.
and who plays the 4th color. It is critical that you play with all 4 colors, no matter what, when it's your turn, because the entire idea is to like territory control. So it's kind of a spatial reasoning territory control game.
Now it's your turn.
Now
to be
it's
red.
my turn to be red.
I have a lot of friends who take this game like camping and to their outdoor things because again everything is like nice solid plastic. It's not going to blow away unless you're in a lot of wind and then you probably
Yeah.
shouldn't be hiking anyway.
Now it's my turn.
I mean it can rain on it, it'll be fine. It's plastic. I think it looks pretty when it's on the table too, which is important to me.
Yeah, it's really pretty. Ooh, he's getting all up in your business.
What?
What?
Okay.
Why would you
It's
do
your
that?
turn to do red.
Alright, well, shucks. Yeah, that's what
She's being nasty.
I'm not being nasty,
There's-
I'm playing the game. Fine, be that way. See if it bothers me.
Mhm. Oh, I can't do what I want to do.
Oh no.
Oh no!
That's so awful. I'm so sad for you, Rich.
I don't think that you sincerely are. I've been blocking.
I think I was telling them that I thought that we needed to show people this one because I think that this one is really hard for a lot of people. The concept of only touching at the corners, you can touch, on the sides of other people's pieces, but your pieces can only touch on the corner. And I think there are a lot of people that really struggle with that. Well, I don't like that at all.
And you get to go for red.
I get to go for red. And the other thing is this board is not flat. It's got like little divots on it, so your pieces aren't going to wander all over the place.
And the back side of the board is hollowed out so you can shove the rest of the pieces when you're
In the box.
putting them in the box.
What a jerk you are.
Who, me?
I don't know. You may be. Hmm.
So yeah, the 2-player variant of this game, you're each in charge of
Two
two of the
colors.
colors. And then there isn't really a solitaire mode supported by the game, but if you want to, you can do your best to try and fit everything on the board as
It is
quickly as you can.
just fun to do that. Well, I don't like that very much.
I like that.
Oh wait, no, it's.
Oh, I didn't
advanced
like
right
that.
there.
Ugh.
Flexing our spatial reasoning muscles.
Uh-huh.
I'm okay with that.
Oh, it's my turn now.
Uh-huh.
It's your turn again.
See, that's
That
the
happens
tough.
occasionally.
God, I don't like that you put that yellow there. I had a plan.
You
Fine.
fool! Are we gonna practice for tomorrow night?
You fool!
You fool!
Fine.
We learned all about being Disney villains today.
All right. Well, we're gonna be risky here.
Uh-oh.
Bold move.
Yeah, that could be not good for me.
Who? Oh, who's red? You're red.
I'm red again. Okay.
Red is not playing very well. Red is making dumb choices.
Red
Red is doing fine.
is distracted. Red has many personalities competing.
Red is perfectly fine. Oh, and look, I can't do that because that would be touching. Nope. I am going to do... What am I going to do? I need to be able to get on that side of the board or I'm dead meat. And I don't know that I can.
Oh no!
Oh no!
That didn't sound sincere.
I know, really. Right? She's kind of not nice.
I'm very nice.
So it's a very competitive game.
Yes. No, I don't think it's a very competitive game. I think we are very competitive.
Okay, fine.
Alright. Then I'm gonna do this.
No!
No!
Don't come on my side.
I'm okay with this actually. Hold on. There. Let's see.
Don't bloke me. And it's Melissa's turn to be red.
Yay!
Yay. No, go away.
Oh.
Okay, it's now my turn.
Is this practice for my city tomorrow?
Oh.
My City's another spatial reasoning game.
My City is a
It's
spatial
a big
reasoning
spatial
game.
reasoning game. We should actually talk about that at the end.
Yeah, that's a great one. I don't like this. I don't like what y'all are doing at all. And I can't focus enough because, like...
Because you have to talk and play at
Because
the
I
same
have to talk
time.
and play at the same
I
time.
mean, we don't have to finish
Now
the
I'm
game.
going to win. Okay, so I think people get the general idea.
Sure.
Because I would have
So
to be
I
very
win,
serious.
so you know.
You win.
Okay,
Sure.
yay!
Melissa wins! But
By
that's
default.
Blockus. And as you can see, the board starts getting more and more filled up. A lot of it is about blocking other people, and yeah.
And this is fun. I have a soft spot for this game. This is one of my first like modern board games.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this one was mine too. I think Quirkle and Blockus were like the big games that we played when David was little.
Yeah,
Um,
it's a good one.
which might explain his superior math skills.
Oh,
Yeah.
he like learned. All right, Kathleen, it
Okay.
is time for you to shine.
For Rush Hour?
No,
No?
Your
Oh,
Soma Cube.
Soma Cube.
and then Rush Hour.
Okay. So, Soma Cube. This is I think it might be, it's one of two of my favorite puzzles of all times. I love this, and I love a pentomino puzzle called Catamino, which is basically like this, but two-dimensional, a little bit. I'll explain why. But a Soma Cube it was created in 1933 by a gentleman named Piet Hein, and it is 7 different pieces. Interestingly enough, tangrams are also 7 pieces.
But where was he when he created it? That part's really interesting.
Yeah, so I love this story, at least the story that's told. I don't know how true it is, but the story that is told is Piet Hein was, I don't remember if it was University of Stockholm or where, but he was in a quantum physics class, and he was bored with the lecture and started imagining various ways to fill up the room with different numbers of cubes. And he went through, like, how many cubes would it take to fill up at once? And how many if they were 2 cubes together? And then he got to this, and it was, what did it say? Does it say?
So, yeah, he studied at the Institute for Theoretical Physics of the University of Copenhagen, which later became the Niels Bohr Institute. So, obviously, this guy is not smart at all.
Yeah. So anyway, he was just, imagining rooms filling up with cubes. But this represents all of the irregular shapes that can be made with 3 or 4 cubes. So what that means is basically if you have 3 square cubes and you put them together, the only thing that you can do that's not a straight line is this piece. If you have 4 cubes, the only things you can do are these 6 pieces, or a straight cube, or a cube. Like so, that is what these pieces are. Then the puzzle part of it is you're supposed to get it back into a cube. There are 240 different ways to get this back into a cube. So this is like spatial reasoning, the puzzle. You have to kind of imagine and figure it out. In high school, I got really obsessed with this puzzle, and I started making notations of all the different ways that I figured it out. I never figured out all 240, but I got about 120. So I got about halfway there.
Wow.
I cannot remember how to do all of them now, but I can remember a couple of them. So I'll show you one for solving it. This is...
Wow, look at her go. Dun, da, da, da.
So that is the cube. Ta-da! It generally will take, I don't know, it depends on how good at spatial reasoning you are, but I would say it takes probably about 10 to 15 minutes the first time to figure out how to get it into a cube. Sometimes longer, sometimes faster. But then, like I said, there's 240 different ways. The other thing that's really cool is, at least here, the ones that we sell come with this insert that shows all these other three-dimensional shapes that you can make with it. It also has a list of websites where you can find even more puzzles to do with it, which I really like, and it also explains some of the math behind the Soma Cube. There are a lot of other, I should have shown here I can do the stair one that you like.
Yeah, I do like the stair one. And it comes in a really cool wooden box, which, yay for not having pieces everywhere.
Yeah. So this one they said looked like Hubert. Oops.
Ah, Hubert!
Hubert died. But yeah, so you can do a bunch of different three-dimensional pictures and different things with it. But I love it. It's great fun. And that's Soma Cube. The interesting fact, and why we were so excited about Soma Cube today, is, as I mentioned, Martin Gardner, it's his, it would have been his 106th birthday. For the last few years, we've been posting a puzzle hunt in honor of his birthday. This year we didn't do it because of the pandemic, and also it's a lot of work.
Tell the real reason.
The real reason is Yoni said he would quit if I made him do another puzzle hunt. But it's also, pandemic was a bad idea. But Martin Gardner and Piet Hein were actually friends, and they were like, they hung out together. Martin Gardner wrote about a lot of his works, and when Martin Gardner was significantly older, he actually did an autobiography called Undiluted Hocus Pocus, which refers back to one of Piet Hein actually wrote kind of poetry-ish stuff. Weird poetry.
Such an underachiever.
And the Undiluted Hocus Pocus and some of the other stuff in the book were taken from his poetry groups that he called them. But anyway, so they're fun. I think it's cool. There are articles that Martin Gardner wrote about some of you.
And do you know who's like sort of taken up the mantle of Martin Gardner?
By Heart, really.
That's who I was thinking of, because she's fabulous.
Yeah, By Heart is amazing. If you haven't ever watched them, watch By Heart's YouTube series. The first article Martin Gardner ever wrote was about hexaflexagons, and By Heart has an entire series on hexaflexagons, which are possibly the coolest things in the entire world.
I agree. She just said, and she's just so charming and lovely.
Yeah, she's hilarious. I love her.
We should invite her to the store.
Oh yeah, God, I love By Heart. Yep.
So By Heart, if you're watching, please come to our store.
Oh yes, I would love to meet you so much.
We wouldn't bother you at all. Now it's time for a real challenge.
Yeah, and I don't know if I can actually do this one, because this is another one that we did not practice before.
All right. So I remember this from my childhood, as I'm sure other people of a similar age group. This is Rush Hour. It's taken many forms. I think this is one of the more recent ones. but you have little cars, and you are trying to get the, what is that? Is it an ambulance or a taxi? I
This
forget
is
which
a
one.
the
red
red.
car.
It's just a red car.
Yeah.
You're trying to have it escape the block, and there's like a little exit.
It's a traffic jam.
It's a traffic jam. So
Yes.
maybe it's a little too real for some people, but you can move the cars around.
Rich is gonna see if he can do it.
Hi,
Let's see.
Legend CM.
Hey, Legend
He
CM.
says
How
hi
are you?
and bye. He's at work.
Hi and bye.
We just slide our cars around.
Mhm.
Oh, look at Rich go.
Yeah, he's doing
Can you
pretty
make
good.
car noises while you do it?
Vroom, vroom, vroom.
Beep, beep.
Oh, this is the
beep.
tricky part. If I can go,
Uh-oh.
because now this guy.
Now what do you have that one stuck
Yeah.
there. What have you done?
Well, I've gotten a little.
I told you.
This is the problem. Orange
Uh-huh.
car. If they would just learn how to drive and get out of my way.
What are you doing, orange car? Ugh.
But now, I'm just in a big mess here.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So no, I'm stuck in this traffic jam. It feels like.
You were so sure that you
I
I
could.
know.
was so confident. It
Uh-huh.
looks a lot like one of the easier puzzles in the thing that I do all the
It's a
time.
medium-
and
it's a
it has
medium one,
this-
it's a
this
medium
big
one.
part. Yeah.
No. But anyway, a lot of people have seen Rush Hour. It is probably one of our best-selling spatial reasoning puzzles. Kids really, really love it. And there are now 3 different versions. There's a new My First Rush Hour,
Which is awesome.
which is super great, and it's for very young children, probably 3-4 years old.
Yeah, the puzzle pattern actually like slides into the board, so they're not having to transfer like that to this.
Yeah. I think it's great. I really, really like it. There's this this one is the regular Rush Hour, which is I think for 8 and up.
Correct.
Although I think that
I think younger.
kids that are good at spatial reasoning could do this at a younger age.
Mm-hmm.
But as you have seen, even getting to the intermediate ones can be quite challenging.
Yeah.
And I think the advanced and expert levels of these
Those
are
are
very,
quite
very
difficult.
challenging. But the cool thing, too, I think, when we're talking about strategies for game schooling, is a lot of times with these, like I said in past things about tangrams, a lot of it is teaching the kid how to think and talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
So really nicely, it has the instructions on the back.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think looking at solutions is cheating for puzzles necessarily. I think the more that a child can figure out how that works,
Mm-hmm.
the better they get at it. It's
Yep.
almost like learning how to do puzzles. And like the Soma Cube, as you do it more and more, you get better at it and start figuring it out. So if a child is struggling, look at the answer and do it together and figure out why it is doing that, and then try another one without looking at it.
Yeah.
I don't think I know anybody who solved the Rubik's Cube before looking up the answer.
I did when I was little,
Well,
but
you-
I
Of
didn't.
course you did.
Yeah, but I don't remember how to do it now.
He's gonna go to the Niels Bohr Institute next thing
No,
you
I'm
know.
not. No.
I cheat. I moved all the stickers.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I did take it apart and put it back together a lot before I figured it out, though.
Mm.
I did. I was a taker aparter. I didn't peel stickers.
Right.
Yeah. So anyway, that's Rush Hour, and pretty classic. Very, very well known amongst kids.
Yeah.
And it's great because it's a solitaire, but I find that especially with puzzles like this, and Think Fun has a ton of them. A lot of times when David was little, he and I would do one and then he would do one and I would do one and we would do it together.
Yeah.
And it really got him invested in it. And then he would take it and play it by himself.
Do they still come in the little bags?
They do.
They do.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love the little bags. That makes them really nice for travel too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And all the cards stay inside the container, which
Yep.
is really nice. Yeah. I like that.
I love stuff like that.
Yeah.
Anything that means that things are not all over my house, I am on board with.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
It does hurt to step on the little cars, so it's nice that you can put them all back in the bag.
All right, next we are talking about Patchwork.
Oh, okay. So
Which
this
is a
is more
two-player
of a two-player game, and it is definitely more
8+.
of a adult game, but older elementary school kids could probably handle it.
It says 8+.
Yeah, there is a Patchwork Americana which just came out, which has a little bit more streamlined rules to it, but yeah, Patchwork is great.
Bye, Legends DM.
Bye, Legends DM.
Hi and bye.
Oh yeah, we already said that.
Yes.
the concept.
It's a game about quilting, guys.
Yes.
It's the game you never knew you wanted, but you want this.
We're not going to play this one, but I'll kind of give a general idea.
So we have our polyominoes back, if you're noticing a trend item.
And actually, I put a really funny meme on our Facebook page today about this. The game designer of this game is Uwe Rosenberg, who is a very, 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 very famous game designer. And he was famous for many, many years of making farming games. And recently, in recent years, he has gotten super into designing puzzle games like this. This was one of his first ones. He also did Feast of Odin, which is incredibly complicated. Yeah, super, super complicated. And then most recently he did, there was another one that he did, Indian Summer, and there was been a whole bunch.
Cottage Garden.
Yeah. Cottage Garden. I like Cottage Garden. There is usually a 2-piece. Here it is. Okay. So wherever you see this 2-piece thing, you go in front of that with the the little guy. I don't know what he is.
I just
We
call
could
him a
call him a
pawn.
meeple, but he's not
A
a meeple.
pawn, yes, the pawn. And you are picking up different quilt pieces to put on your board. And it is incredibly important because
buttons.
you want to earn buttons because that's how you pay for the pieces. Whoever is on top on the score track, it's their turn. Or whoever's behind or on top. So, Rich, it would be your turn. When it's your turn, you're going to take one of the first 3 pieces, and you're going to have to spin buttons on them. I think
time. Buttons are time.
Buttons and time.
So it's just like making a real quilt. If you want a big piece, you're either going to have to spend currency or spend a lot of time to do it.
Well, you have to do both.
Well, yeah.
Right. And some of the have the little symbol that says 2 buttons, and then some have buttons drawn on. So what does that mean?
So the symbol is the cost of it.
Mm-hmm.
The buttons that are sewn on are what you will earn as income when you pass these buttons on the time track.
Ooh. Go for a big three time.
Okay, so then you would have to. So then you would spend 3 times. So what that means is basically you go 1, 2, 3.
And now you're stuck there.
And now you're stuck there, and then the pawn moves to wherever the piece was that you took. And then I can pick 3 up to 3 in front of me, and I am going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
That one costs 10 buttons.
Yeah, that one costs 10 buttons, so I obviously don't have that many buttons. So I'm going to actually buy this one, which is 1 button, and only 2 times. So I go 1, 2. Now this is the thing about this game is it's not now Rich's turn. It is still my turn.
She's behind.
So yeah, because I'm last. So then I could take another piece. So managing both the spatial reasoning of how you're putting the pieces on your board and fitting them together is just as important as managing the time and the space element. So I think that this game is really, really great for estimating how you're going to take up space, which, funnily enough, I'm really bad at in real life. My husband always says that I'm not allowed to go look at, like, houses or apartments or whatever because I always think everything is huge.
Sorry, I'm looking around because it looks like the lights are flashing in the video, but they're not here.
I don't know. We're also not very...
Someone moved the table.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes, it's okay. So this game will frustrate you if you are like, I must fill my entire board with this quilt. That doesn't happen very often. So just to throw that out there.
But you need to fill up as much as you possibly can because you get -1 point for every space that you don't use.
Very rarely going to be this like perfect square shape. And it's sad and frustrating.
Whoever fills in a the
like
7 by 7 first gets 7 points though. So you're trying to rush and try and fill in a 7 by 7 grid so that you can get this 7-point bonus, which also doesn't always happen.
No.
The first couple times I played this, our score was negative. Like
Yep.
we lost
Yep.
so many points. It was so bad. I was so disappointed. But now I play this all the time. I really love
Yep.
this game.
And it's just for 2 players, so that's important to note. You cannot add more. I don't think you can't combine with the other versions, to my knowledge.
No, I don't think so.
But it's just delightful and fabulous and lovely. I know a lot of people who've actually like replaced the cardboard buttons with actual buttons.
Oh yeah,
because
that's really good.
why not?
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, I think this is great. This is a great pandemic game. I think my son loves this one too. We play this one a lot. He's very good at that one too, which really drives me nuts.
It's really charming.
It is. It's just. I mean, it's spelled quilting. Is it? It's flashing on your screen too. I'm sorry if it's flashing.
We don't know why it's flashing.
Don't know why
because
we're
nothing
flashing.
is flashing.
Nothing is flashing. Or
really
it's
weird.
Halloween and it's thunder and lightning here. Use your imagination, I guess. Should we talk about my city because we have a couple more minutes and it's fabulous,
we can.
and I think it's like right down there.
Oh yeah, we can show my city.
So My City is a game by one of the most famous game designers, other than Uwe Rosenberg. Can you pronounce
Reiner Knizia.
Reiner Knizia, thank you. Okay. And it is fabulous. We jokingly call him the Dr. Professor because he's another math person. But this game, it's a legacy style game, kind of, sort of. And what I mean by that is you will put stickers on your board. Some of us are monsters and put them on upside down. The rest of us do it the correct way. You name your cities and write on the board in pen, and you do all sorts of marks on them.
I don't want to give anything away.
Yeah, because it's a legacy game, we don't want to spoil it.
Yeah, I don't want to give anything
I'm just saying
away.
stickers, and I mean that's the first thing is that you put stickers on it and you name your town.
So this is the side that's not the legacy side.
Yep, that's called the Eternal board. So this is really interesting. Most legacy games, you play them and then you're done with them and that's it, and you don't have a game to play. This one has an Eternal board, so you can keep playing. And it's a spatial reasoning game in that you start off with all of these pieces, which you can probably show them. And we're going to try real hard not to do spoilers. There aren't too many. We're only about halfway through. You start off with all these polyomino pieces, and the very first simple task you have is to put them on your board in the order that they come out and get on as many as possible. Yeah. After that, the goal is...
And you want to cover the rocks
and leave the trees.
Try and leave the trees.
Yep.
You can't ever go over the river.
Yep. And then the next task is they go by color. And I'm not going to go further than that, but it gets more complex as the game goes on. And the rules change. Never so drastically that I think it's difficult to learn. But this game has made us yell a lot. And it's fun. And we yell a lot about our spatial reasoning or lack thereof. Or, oh, I planned to that space and this horrible thing has happened and now I can't do it. So this is fabulous. Especially if you are stuck with the whole bunch of the same people during quarantine. It's a great time to play a legacy game.
My stickers aren't all that upside down. Look, y'all can see my stickers real
Don't
fast.
spoilers.
No, okay.
No spoilers.
No
So you
spoilers.
put stickers on there for things.
Yes. And right now Yoni is winning.
By a lot.
But
Kathleen and I are very close.
Yeah,
we're like
we're
1
close.
point difference.
Yeah.
Per second.
But I this is great. And one of the things that I think is really cool about My City is it's similar to a lot of polyomino games where you flip a card, it tells you what piece to use, you have to put that on your board. But each game, and there's 8 chapters involved, and each chapter has 3 games in it. Each game changes slightly, and it keeps adding slight complexity. So I think from a game design perspective, it's really fascinating to see how Reiner Knizia develops this game into something that is a much different feel from the very first. The first game that you play is super simple.
Yep, you're like, this is for children.
Yeah, this is really silly. And then it becomes this kind of complex, deep, strategic thing, and I just love it.
I don't want this piece. Over and over again. And there is some there's not a big grand story like you would find in some other legacy games, but there's enough flavor text that I'm amused.
Yeah,
I'm happy.
We're building a city.
I mean, we started out back in pre-industrial days, and now maybe we're past that.
Yeah, we're getting there.
We're getting there.
You're certainly generating your
Horrible
own stories of
things.
who made it impossible for you to do the thing you wanted to do.
Yeah.
It's whoever shuffles the cards, by the way.
Yeah, we always blame the person who shuffles the cards. And I don't shuffle the cards because I don't want to get blamed.
Yep.
And there's religion. There's some churches involved.
We yell about some churches sometimes.
Yeah, I know. there was some specific things that happened with the churches which made it bad for me, and so I have some
Yep.
really bad churches
Your
in my
city's
city.
very special.
Yeah, I don't like my city very much, but yes. But no, my city, highly recommend it. Super, super family game. It's going to be great for anybody. I think this is a great holiday Christmas game.
I agree.
Yeah.
All right, so I think that's the end of spatial reasoning, but we should probably talk about what we're doing next week, because next week's format is a little different, and I grabbed it. It's over here.
Oh.
I haven't popped all the pieces yet. Next week, we are going to be playing on the origin of the species. Yes,
We're going to go back to science.
Yay, science! And we're going to talk about Darwin and evolution and how it's real, which is important to this science teacher. So this game, I don't know a ton about it. I honestly just opened the box a few minutes ago because Kathleen said, we're going to play this next week. So I said, I should open this.
It's going to, it's brand new. It just came out. It's from the game company Artana and Genius Games. Artana bought Genius Games. Genius Games we featured them a lot in our science stream.
There's a blue-footed booby on the box.
There is, because blue-footed boobies are the best. But Artana, who did a bunch of different games, Tesla versus Edison and a bunch of other things.
Did they do all the cytosis ones as
well? No, that's Genius. So those two companies merged, which I think is brilliant, because I actually think Artana is significantly better at game design and design, like just the beauty of the games. But Genius had a significantly better kind of scientific and like educational component of them. And so I'm hoping them merging together, and this is the first game that they've ever done together, I believe.
Artana did Lovelace and Babbage.
Yeah, Lovelace and Babbage. They did a bunch of stuff. They did
Einstein.
Yeah. But I loved Artana games, but they weren't all, I don't know. I think that they're going to be good together. So I'm really excited to try on the origin of species, and I also love Darwin.
Yeah.
I think Darwin's cool.
I opened the box, I looked at it, the pieces look really pretty, and the board is pretty, and I'm excited.
Yeah, so we're going to have an exploration next week on learning this game, so y'all can learn with us and help us out.
Yeah, and yell at us.
If you ever have any questions or any suggestions about things that you would like us to see us do for Gameschooling, we would love to hear them. We're always happy to make recommendations. If you have specific educational needs, we are here most days, and we can certainly recommend things, but always send us an email, talk to us on Facebook, on Twitter, Instagram, and tell us what you think, and ask us and give us ideas for things that you'd like to see.
Yeah,
we'd appreciate it.
All right, thanks.